The rhythmic howling of dogs in the night was what had woken the little girl. At first it hadn't been so bad, just a lonely sound that made her feel a little less alone. But then the wind picked up and the trees began to shake and the howling got louder and more frantic. And then it stopped. There was a sudden, unnatural silence. The little girl sat up in bed and listened. Her heart began to pound in her chest, and she heard it again, the sound of something just outside her window. It was a low, mournful sound, like the sound of a lullaby. And then she heard a voice. It was singing a song, a creepy nursery rhyme that her grandmother used to sing to her when she was a little girl. But her grandmother had passed away years ago, and she hadn't thought of the song in a long time. Rock-a-bye, baby on the treetop. When the bow breaks, you'll fall down and never ever stop falling down. The voice seemed to be coming from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It was right outside her window, but when she looked out, all she saw was the swaying branches of an old oak tree. The little girl couldn't help but shiver. She pulled her blanket tighter around her shoulders and buried her face in the pillow. She wanted to go back to sleep, but the longer she lay there, the more she could hear the voice. It was getting louder now, and the wind was picking up again. Rock-a-bye, baby on the treetop. When the bough breaks, you'll fall down and never ever stop falling down. The little girl squeezed her eyes shut and tried to make the voice go away, but it didn't. And then suddenly it stopped. The little girl opened one eye and then the other. She looked out the window, but all she saw was the dark shape of the oak tree against the bright moon. She could see the wind rustling the leaves, but she couldn't see anyone. She was just about to go back to sleep when she heard a noise behind her. She whirled around and saw her door, the one that she had left wide open, slowly begin to close. She watched in horror as it moved closer and closer until it was shut tight. Then she felt it, a cold, ghostly hand resting on her shoulder. She screamed and tried to get away, but it was too late. The voice was right beside her now. She could feel its icy breath on her neck as it whispered in her ear, "Rock-a-bye, baby on the treetop. When the bough breaks, you'll fall down and never ever stop falling down."